able to accurately place. As we look at David Coulthard, Coulthard about to go a lap down to race leader in 8th place. It just goes to prove that in spite of all David's problems this afternoon, you know, by the time this race reaches its conclusion, you can see David Coulthard actually in the points. But he's now got to deal with a race leading Michael Schumacher behind.
And let's hope he doesn't do anything too rash, which one might say was designed to stop Michael going by and get those points.
Well, it's a crucial point in the championship. McLaren are faced with losing the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Oh, Michael Schumacher's run into the back of David Coulthard.
And he can't stop now.
He is out of the race. Michael Schumacher, he didn't realise that Coulthard either had lifted off.
I think Coulthard backed off for him.
Look at him driving around on 3 wheels. Well, I don't know whether David Coulthard, whether he just suddenly saw Schumacher lifted off or Schumacher made a misjudgment. I mean, Derek, I have never in my life...
So Stu, David, I believe, had to have backed off to allow Michael to go by, and Michael just dropped into him.
Jordan are leading the Grand Prix, or will be leading the Grand Prix. Eddie Jordan might find that...
And Irvine's in the pits as well, which isn't good for Ferrari. Let's watch it again. Look at it, he just backed off, you see. Well, dear, oh dear, oh dear, Michael's going to be so annoyed, and David didn't want to do that. He just backed off to let Michael go around him. He can't believe it. He will be so annoyed he had it made. But he's still going quick.
The thing is, he's got no brakes. Because when you knock a wheel off, although you've got rear braking, in fact, it's very ineffective. So Michael Schumacher's going to drive the rest of the circuit as we look. He comes up. I mean, how he's going to get round Blanchimont is beyond me.
Here he goes. He's into Blanchimont now. He's out because he went up the brake. Here we go. Let's watch it again.
So let's look as they drop down the hill. They're coming up towards Hu-Ho corner. There it is. I mean, I don't know whether David lifted off. I don't know whether Michael was just simply unsighted, whether he made a mistake. But certainly...
And he wouldn't make a mistake. David backed off, in my opinion. But I mean, you can hardly blame David for it. Here they're both coming in. Because David lost his wing by the look at it. He lost his wing, David.
David Coulthard has no rear wing. What we're looking at is the camera on the side of the air intake. So Coulthard into the pits. And his race is over. Michael Schumacher, having driven an absolutely amazing and incredible Grand Prix, is suddenly out, and Mika Häkkinen retains his championship lead.
Yeah, just a tad peeve.
Oh, look at this.
Going up to see David.
He is going up to see Coulthard. This is going to be... The team are trying to stop him. He is absolutely... I've never seen Michael Schumacher angry like this in my life. And now the team are saying, Michael, calm down, calm down.
Telling him to...
He is going to win. The McLaren
team... off, man. Get out of my way.
The McLaren team will shut the doors. They will not let Coulthard in. Well, they're going to get together. And look at that. The McLaren guys saying, stay away, Michael. Don't get involved. This is trouble. David, tell you what, David Coulthard would stand and face Schumacher.
Of course he would. He's still got his helmet on as well, which makes life... He looks poor. I do feel sorry for that. I feel sorry for David because I'm sure he certainly didn't mean it. But for Schumacher, that was really, really tough. The problem is, when you're like that zooming, he was catching him up, remember, coming through, sweeping up. Then the guy backs off to let him by, and he just runs in the back of him. I mean, at those speeds and those conditions, here we go again.
I mean, that is just, I mean, that's the most frightening thing. I mean, we've seen this happen on many occasions in many races, but I mean, two guys, you know, a two-time world champion and a guy of David Coulthard's ability and quality, you might expect that in some of the lower formulas, but not at this level. But there we have a new race leader, in fact, regained the lead, Damon Hill and Ralph Schumacher. I mean, Jordan's, suddenly all the birthdays look like they're going to come on one day for Jordan. They're going to be, well, they currently are first and second. Lazy is third, French and fourth, Fisichella fifth, and Irvine in sixth place. I mean, there's a long, long way still in this race to go. But, I mean,
it'd be unbelievable for Jordans to pick up the lead in this race. Good for Damon and good for the Ralph Schumacher, the younger brother of Michael. They've just got to keep their heads. That's what we thought Michael was doing, but of course I'm afraid he probably got a little too close to David, but he seemed to be a long way behind him coming into the corner. But he misread it totally. He's saying, get out of my way, man, I'm on my... Don't need you to slow me down, and I know how he feels. It's happened to all of us, but John, hasn't it? I mean, it's the most terrible feeling.
And I think that Michael Schumacher's emotions of... he suddenly let drop, you know, his his emotion. He normally is so controlled. And Eddie Irvine is out. Irvine has spun. And Ferrari's day has been compounded. Irvine off once, off twice, and this time it doesn't look. There he is coming. This is a downhill from the Puho corner, coming downhill. The water runs across the track there. Did his wheel catch the white line? It did. He caught the curb. And
once you've done that, your history. Once you've done that. The problem is he has had this terrible visibility situation, being close behind the car there. Off he goes, bouncing all the way across. And does he go in? No, pity he didn't keep. Oh, he did. Just nudge it, but he obviously stalled the engine by then.
Yeah, and he had enough. He wouldn't have been able to recover from that part of track.
Of course, you start to wonder about these guys getting all this money, and they keep making these silly mistakes. Now, if I was a very wealthy team or a team owner and the sponsors of the whole lot, I'd be pretty darn upset by now about some of my drivers driving.
Now, what's this? Just an
overtaking maneuver going on Denise. But Denise is being a bit uncautious in some of these moves.
So 3 more retirements. Eddie Irvine, we've just seen that. Michael Schumacher and David Coulthard a lap ago. They came down to the Puho corner, and that was the corner, in fact, that Irvine also went off. He caught his wheel on the outside of the curb, and to touch that white paint, there you see those red and white lines. They are absolutely, you must stay away. We've got 8 cars remaining in this year's Belgian Grand Prix. So we're going to take the opportunity to have a quick break as we look at the top 6 on screen. Join us back in Belgium in a moment.